submit your nominations for 2023. You heard it first here, folks. Okay, let's pop him in. I think he's here.
I promise you, I know how to work a computer. I heard every,
Hey!
I heard everything that you said too because I'm on my phone, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, but I couldn't get in because I'm like I should be able to join via YouTube or something. Then I was going to your
Right.
live on Facebook and I thought I could join that way. Then I'm
Mm.
here. Thank you for your
Hi.
patience. I
No
appreciate it.
problem. No problem at all. Thank you.
Can I give a shout out to the songwriter that
You sure can.
and okay, so Makiba Riddick
Okay.
Woods, that's her name. So yeah,
Okay.
Makiba,
Makita.
she's over that consultancy agency and over the Young Dreamers consultancy agency that I've been working with her, so I want to make sure I shouted her out.
Okay. I'm glad you did because I didn't know how to say her name. And I was like, I don't want to say her name wrong and then she come for me because that's not okay.
You're good.
But thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited to be talking
Me
to you.
too.
I'm ready to get this tea. Are you ready?
Well, I do like tea,
Okay.
so yeah,
Are
that's
you ready
that's.
to give the tea?
Well, I mean, sure. There might be something interesting. We'll see.
Okay. So, first and foremost, we've already heard your bio. So, when was that moment when you said to yourself, I want to sing? Like, Mama, I want to sing.
That's interesting because I really can't say that there was a moment that I said it, but
Mhm.
there was a belief that others had in me that I could do it. And then
Mm,
it's something that just always stuck with me. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I can do this. I
mhm,
remember specifically when I was finishing up high school and I was going off to college. My mom was in the car with me and she said, "Oh, I want you to do a demo tape."
mhm,
I had never thought of myself as ever recording anything or, this was something like recording and being a singer and anything like that. I thought that's something that other people did. I didn't think that was ever in reach for me.
right.
And so, it's something that my mom said, David, I want you to record a demo. And so lo and behold, I went to Augusta, Georgia that summer, and I got connected with a pastor that had a music studio, and I was able to record my first song with him in Augusta, Georgia in 2010. And so that's kind of how it started. From that first recording, I took voice lessons, and I wanted to get stronger in the gift that God gave me. And it's
Mhm,
something that it, you realize that I guess if people are asking me to sing, then they hear something. Because
mm,
people, there's so many people that can sing, but you know, it, if they're asking me, there must be something different that they hear in my voice. And so
mm,
over time, it's something that I was really realizing. Okay, God, I see what you're doing, and I see what you've been doing.
mm. Wow, that's a good moment to have for sure. Um, yeah, especially since you had people like, oh, you should sing, and you had your mother pushing you like, oh, you gonna get on this demo, which we love a good support system. Push
Yeah,
me out there, put
yeah.
me in my calling. No, I love it for sure.
Sometimes it takes other people to see it in you, and then
Mm.
that's how it's activated. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree because we can never, as human beings, we can never see our full potential. But people, as much as people say they don't, people can see what you got going on way before you yourself can see. Because there's self doubt, there's self, what's the word? I can't
Self
even think of the
doubt,
word.
insecurity. Um,
Insecurity.
yeah, you don't think you can do it. You're comparing,
Right.
what you see that's out there already, and you don't realize that everyone's had a process.
Mm. So how have you dealt with the self doubt and comparing yourself. I know you're young. I'm not gonna say you're young, but you're young. So social
With the
media is
computer,
playing a
I can
part in your
barely go on the
music.
computer, so
Things of that-
I can barely go on the computer. So I guess I'm getting older now.
Hold up. Right, old. That's a different level of old. I can't. Did
I'm
you hear the
sorry.
question?
You were asking me how did I get over it, and what was the part about social media?
With social media being such a big influence in music, like in the gospel music industry as a whole, how have you stayed afloat? How have you dealt with that?
That's so interesting. That's a great question.
Mhm.
The part about social media, I will say, so when I was finishing high school, that's when Facebook was becoming big. And
Mhm.
so all throughout high school, I didn't have social media. Well, we had MySpace, but MySpace was an afterthought. It wasn't the place that you went to really like find information and really just put yourself out there.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that, social media is something that you use to connect with friends, not necessarily understanding how it's how it back then really transformed the landscape for different industries. So now, even though I had the computer trouble, I can teach myself how to use these tools, and so social media is just part of what we have to do now. And
Mhm.
so I put singing content on social media and all platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I know you were mentioning about your TikTok. I have a TikTok as well, YouTube, and trying to get the product out there to however the consumer will be able to get it at ease. Because
Mhm.
another thing that social media has done, there's an oversaturation of so much content that you have to find a way to make yours something that people either seek out because they've heard of you some type of way, or you placed it in a way that it can easily be found. So it's a balancing act, but it's something that I know is out there that I have to use, that is helping me to get the word out to people that I didn't even know were interested in the music.
Mhm.
So it's a blessing, but it's one of those things that I'm always a student, always looking for ways to improve on social media because I understand it is the tool of today.
Mhm. You mentioned a good point. Like I've been saying this for a while. Social media, everybody's a content creator, everybody's a singer, everybody's a rapper, everybody's doing something these days. So really putting your content out there and pushing it to the your target audience, but in a unique way is
Yeah,
what's gonna make you different. And I love that you touched on that. A lot of people won't talk about it. Oh, well, my music's on social media. Oh, this and that. But people don't really talk about this. Like, it's a struggle. It's not easy to not only keep up with the content, storage, keep up with the trends and the
right.
algorithm. There's a lot that goes into it. So I'm so glad you touched on that. Praise God.
Yeah.
That was good.
I mean, but it's we have to know what is how to use the tools that are at our disposal. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So social media is here. This is the way that we're supposed to get our content out, and because word of mouth is not the same like it used to be. You know, you
no.
don't wait till the next day to tell somebody. You go live or you
Right.
stream just like right now. So yeah,
Right.
it's one of those things that we have to find a way to use it, and know that it's going to reach somebody.
Amen. My next question is, you have a remix of your song "Shake 'Em Up," "Shake 'Em Off." I'm sorry, and you did a remix
Yeah.
with.
Somebody else said shake them up the other day too. That's why I was laughing. I mean, hey, shake them up. Hey, maybe that's the next one.
Maybe that's the next one. Maybe I'm prophesying. Who knows? No. But "Shake 'Em Off" featuring 1K Few, and that's a very different vibe from the music. I Need Your Grace, other things that you've done. "Shake 'Em Off," the original song. So what made you decide to collab with an artist such as 1K Few?
Well, I want to answer this in different segments. So
Okay.
let me start with this, please, if you allow me. So I
Oh,
Need
you're
Your
fine.
Grace. That's like my ballad type song. And so as I was learning my gift, I took voice lessons, and I worked with a classical operatic singer. And
Mm,
so, the breathing and the phrasing and how to really you know shape the mouth for the vowels to come out correctly.
Mm,
That's something that I work to do, and so it's really important for me. And I'm glad that Makiba and Winston Davidson, the writers of "I Need Your Grace," I'm grateful that they wrote a ballad song that I could minister because it's important for me. And with all the fun songs that I love to do, that I also have those ballad type songs because I want to show that I can sing too. You
right,
know what I mean? I want y'all to know that David E. Johnson Jr. is a singer.
right.
and
It's
so and
fine.
so right. And so I need your grace. I get to sing and I love to sing. And that's something that I really want to come through and the
Mm,
music that you hear from me. Now, Shake 'em Off, the original, I was in DC for 10 years, going to school at Howard, undergrad and grad school. And in DC, Chocolate City, go-go music is the music that you hear on every street corner.
right.
So when I was in the studio working with Makiba, I mentioned to her that I wanted to do a go-go song, and
Mm,
that's how Shake 'em Off was born. And
okay.
so we were riding with Shake 'em Off. Then I was working with someone that connected me with 1K Few, and that was a blessing. 1K Few listened to the song, and he sent feedback that he loved it, and that he agreed to be featured on the extended version. And so I never thought I'd have a song that a Christian hip hop artist will be interested in hopping on. But
Mm,
I'm grateful that he did it, and the extended version with 1K Few. I mean, if you want something to bounce to while you drive, and turn that one on.
right.
That's the one right there. So that's the fun song, and 1K Few adds a different element to it with the Christian hip hop aspect of it. But then you have the "I Need Your Graces," you know what I mean? The ballads, you know what I mean? You want to slow it down just a little bit. So I got something out there for everybody.
Right. I agree. And I when I say this collab, when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, because I'm a 1K Few fan." And
Okay.
when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is different for him." But like he sounds good in it. And I was like, "Okay, I see the vision." And like, when you see the vision and it's executed right, you just want to listen and listen and listen. And then there's those visions that aren't executed right and we just turn them off. But that's a topic for another time.
Let me tell you something. I really appreciate you saying that because it's so interesting. As artists, and you're a creator.
Mm,
Um, some people might not understand how long it takes to really get that product out.
mm,
You're working so long. Like I have like songs that are done that I'm just trying to put the finishing touches on. You know
mm,
what I mean? But I'm not about to release them.
right.
So the my Shake 'em Off song, and then working with 1K Few, getting his first, still had to get it mixed and mastered, and still had to get everything gelled together. It took longer than what I had hoped. So the song with 1K Few came out March 25th of this year.
Mm,
I was trying to get that out, you know, before Thanksgiving in 2021, but there were just delays that came right because my original came out, earlier,
right.
and so I was trying to follow up a little closer to when the original came out, but I got delayed, but I take that as a learning lesson for me because the things that I had to do that I didn't realize they give me more knowledge about what I need to do to even get things out even faster. But I
Mm,
appreciate what you said about the extended version with 1K Few because it took longer than what I had hoped to get everything ready to get it out. But I'm
mm.
glad that you gave me that feedback about it because that makes it all worth it.
Yeah, it was dope for sure. And it's quality. And that's now hearing what you're saying, you can tell that there's been months and months of preparation because it sounds like it for sure.
Thank you. To God be the glory.
So my next question is, what trials have you overcome to get to the moment where you are right now?
That's a loaded question.
It
Um,
is.
I think some of it is about what we were talking about, the insecurity, the comparison. But I'll tell this story too, because I had to believe in the singing and the gift that God gave me because, I've mentioned this to people who've asked before, but I didn't grow up singing in church
Mm,
because there were always other people who were tapped to sing.
mm,
That's not shade or anything, but they
right,
just knew that other people, those were the singers to go to.
mm,
And so I didn't grow up singing in church. The first solo I had was when I was a senior in high school. It was
wow.
Our Father, you are holy, we give you glory and we bless your name. I think that's Ricky Dillard. Uh,
Mm,
so it was like three soloists in that song, and I was
mm,
one of them. That's the first time that I ever sang a solo in church. But
mm,
the people that came up to me afterwards and said, how much they enjoyed it and that they didn't know I could sing and that I should keep going. I'm like, oh well, I mean, I'd never sang in church before. I didn't know there was something there. So that's
mm,
something I had to overcome because it's something. Sometimes you might think that you're being overlooked, but it's not that. It's people just don't know. And so there has to be a level of confidence enough to say, you know what, consider me too. Now it's different. You put yourself out there and somebody says no. That's different. But at least putting yourself out there, you giving people a chance to give you a chance.
mm,
So that's something that I've had to overcome. And I mean, I couldn't get to where I am now without God, but
yes.
also without, being out there and saying, well, David Johnson Jr. has something, please consider it.
Mm,
And after that, it's God that gives the increase. But just so that people know that David E. Johnson Jr. is out there, I have a chance. And so
mm,
this I had to overcome, realizing that it doesn't matter what, what will move on someone's heart or what won't move someone. The fact that I put it out there and I believe that God will give the increase, that's all I can do. But
right.
it takes years to really get to that place, and you really have to overcome the insecurity and self-doubt, thinking that it's not good enough or you're not good enough, because that's not always the case. Sometimes people just don't know that
Mm,
you're out there.
mm,
So putting yourself out there so that you can be seen and can be found, that's something that can get you to the next level. Because let me tell you, there there have been things that I know people have been better for than me. But I think just because I asked, people considered it and they gave me a chance. And I'm
mm.
so grateful for that. I'm grateful to God for that.
Closed mouths don't get fed. That's for sure.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
But no, I loved how you touched on that. That you don't even realize how many people are in the season of depression or in this season of self-doubting, in this season, okay, God, you gave me this gift, why is nobody seeing me use it, why am I not up here? And you telling that small testimony literally just broke the chains off of them. So I appreciate you
Amen.
being transparent and just being open. It's okay as a man, it's okay as a woman, it's okay to have self doubt. It's okay to be insecure as long as you don't let it hold you down.
Now, I'm gonna say this, because you kind of opened the door with your comments. So
Say,
it's okay. It's okay for men and women, black men and black women, to have therapists too, because I've had one before. I talked to a therapist and I was like, and it's interesting because everybody knows I sing. Everybody knows that. So I was talking to my therapist one time and he was like, well, David, everybody sings. I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's like, everybody has a mixtape.
right.
He's like, everybody has a song that's out.
Mm,
But he wasn't saying that as a way to discourage me. But he was saying that as a safe space to really manage the expectations that I had, and that
mm,
took a weight off of me what I was doing, because
mm,
then I was realizing that I wasn't necessarily competing with other people, because there's always going to be someone out there that has something that someone else wants.
mm,
So it really became a kind of an introspective moment for me about what is it that I can offer that's different and unique, because
mm,
there's something that only each and every one of us can do. Yes, everyone has a song. Yes, everyone has a mixtape, but not everyone can put their spin on it like you can uniquely. So that also helped me to reframe what I was doing as I was moving forward with my music. How can I make this unique to me and authentic to me so that people realize, oh yeah, that's David Johnson Jr. and they like it because of that. You know, not that I'm trying to sound like anyone else or trying to chase a sound or anything else, but I say all that to say it's okay to seek professional counseling as you're
Mm,
moving and navigating what you're doing in your life, realizing as we mentioned the oversaturation, but then you might not realize when that aha moment will come about. Okay, this will help me to reframe what I've been doing so that I can really protect you know what I'm doing and making sure that I'm well as I give forth this product to the world.
mm. It's important for sure. So since you touched there, what what is how do I want to word this? What is that hobby or that talent that nobody knows about, but you have that you feel is like, okay, this is pretty useless or nobody will care. But it could be your thing. It could be your niche besides singing.
That's interesting. Well, I am creative as it relates to arts and crafts.
Okay.
So I do make T-shirts and I do make mugs and stuff.
Okay.
I design stuff. And
Okay.
just yesterday, somebody asked me to do something, and I was like, I don't know, because I'm just doing it for fun. But my stuff
Right.
is pretty good.
Right.
So and that's something that helps me to decompress when I'm making stuff as well.
Mm.
So I guess that's something that people wouldn't expect and wouldn't know. But yeah, I do make stuff as well. So I guess the creativity flows in the arts and crafts too for me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. When you put your hands to plow on certain things, especially like here lately, my mom's gonna laugh at me because I'm about to mention this. Here lately, a lot's been on my mind. It's like boom, 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 like situation after situation. And I'm like, God, I really want to hear your voice. I really want to, I want your presence. So I'm blocking out all as much as I can. No TV, occasional TV, music, things of that nature. But then I was looking on Instagram and I seen this lady. She was like bejeweling things, and I was like, hmm. So I
See,
was at Hobby Lobby and I
yeah.
seen these like they just popped up out of nowhere. I seen these jewels
Hmm.
and I just started, and it's like now I feel like it's like so therapeutic to me. So now, I mean, I didn't know it before, but now I'm a bejeweler. I bedazzle.
Like your microphone stand right there.
Yeah,
You
I
do.
did this in the mic.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I
Thank
see it.
you. I mean, I get what you're saying. As a creative, most people think, oh, you're supposed to interview. Oh, you're supposed to sing. You're supposed to write. No, that as a creative, God has given us multiple gifts. And
Right,
it doesn't have to, not everything has to be monetized. Let's point
right.
that out. Not
That's
everything has to
true.
be successful. Not everything has to be a big, oh, you need to do this. Some things
Right,
could just be between me and my family or me and my
right.
cousins or me and this. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
And it takes the pressure off of you know what the end result is,
Mm,
because we've gotten away from always the thought that counts. You know,
mm-hmm.
gifts and when you're trying to do something for people, it's the thought. Now people want it to look like you got this from the Louis Vuitton store.
Right.
You say you made it, but now it needs to look like you got it from somewhere.
Right.
Takes the pressure off of you when you know that it's something that is therapeutic for you that you're sharing with your family. Just a case in point, my parents had a remarriage ceremony in
Mm,
October, and so I just mentioned about how I do the mugs and stuff and shirts. So I made them a mug for their remarriage ceremony.
mm,
And my cousin, I made, I don't know, maybe like 20 or something. And
mhm,
I didn't know who was going to take them, but they were a hit at the reception.
mhm,
So my cousin kept on reaching out to me. She said, David, I did not get my mug. I
mhm.
kept on telling her, okay, I'm going to make you a mug. I'm going to make you a mug. I'm going to make you a mug. It was 2 months later, but I finally made her a mug. And I'm still trying to get it to her because we were supposed to meet up the other day, but we didn't connect. But But I just say that to say it takes the pressure off of it. When
Mm,
okay, yeah, there's something there, and it's the thought that counts, but it's something of use, and people
right.
do like it, and they enjoy it. So I like how you say you don't always have to monetize it, and that gives that sentimental touch to it as well.
Mm,
It's priceless.
true. And their passion when you do something, I feel like as creatives, if we put something out and we're like, oh, this needs to be monetized, we're more pressured to make sure it looks the certain way, make sure it sounds a certain way, make sure it's packaged a certain way. But when it's a passion, when it's a hobby, you just do it because it's fun. You just do
Right.
it because you're passionate about it. I love that. So, my next question is, how is David E. Johnson Jr. giving back in this holiday season?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Um, that's a good question. So, here in Memphis, we always have St. Jude,
Mm-hmm.
where we can always make donations to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you go to the store, there are some places that around this time of the year they have options to give to St. Jude. So I try to do that where I'm giving, to charity to St. Jude if I'm prompted to make an extra donation with any place that I'm at. Um, I can, but I also think about giving your time, as you said, to your family and your friends. Because with the mug story, I kept on saying to my cousin, "Okay, I'm gonna make it for you. I'm gonna do it," but I did not set aside the time to do it. So I was like,
Mm,
"No, I got to make sure I make this for her." She keeps on asking me. She's been patient about it. It's the season where if I have a gift to give, I need to get it to her.
right.
So I wanted to make sure I set time aside to do that, so she knew that I valued her and I appreciated her for asking me to do that for her. So it's little things about that. So giving of talent, um, you know as it relates to charity, but then also giving time to family and friends, that goes a long way too.
Mm. I agree. Not too many people have mentioned time. People are like, oh, money, gifts, this, that, but time, because some people's time is more valuable than a gift will ever be. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Because you don't
yeah,
get that time back at all. Once that
right,
time is spent, it's gone.
right.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that too.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
what? I'm sorry. You can
no,
go.
go ahead, go ahead.
What motivates you when times get rough, when trials and tribulations come? What motivates you to keep, like, I'm doggone David E. Johnson Jr.? Like, what motivates you to keep pushing?
Mm. Well, that's kind of an existential question.
Okay.
Um, I guess it is something that I kind of think about a little bit. So, what pushes me to keep going as it relates to the music and the ministry is knowing that um, there's a story that I have that I believe God's given me that people need to hear.
Mm,
God's given me these songs that people need to hear. Um, God's given me a testimony that people need to hear. And so I can't stop because someone's life depends on it. The ministry behind what I'm trying to do. I believe that. I remember when I was in DC, I was talking to, so I was at a birthday dinner, and they were asking me about my ministry and different things, and I was answering their questions, and the person said to me, "Well, people are waiting on you, David." And this is years ago,
right.
and it's interesting because God operates outside of the time the way we understand it, and it's still coming to pass.
Mm,
But I'm closer to the point where I believe that what people have been waiting on, that God's given me, I'm believing that it's about to come to pass soon.
mm,
So it's interesting that's what keeps me going, knowing that I really believe in what God's given me to share, not
mm.
for the word to get out, and because um, I really believe it can bless someone else. I know this cliche. I don't want to sound cliche. This is kind of why I was stumbling to say that, but I really do believe that.
No, I'm right there with you. I agree. I heard something on TikTok the other day, and I don't even know who it was by, but I remember hearing it when she said it. And she was like, what you're going through right now, what you've been through your past, all that stuff that happened to you was not for you. Yeah, it happened to you, but it's for God's glory to be shined through.
Right,
And it's a testimony for somebody. Somebody's dealing with the same thing that you dealt with almost 20 years ago.
right.
And they need you to help pull them through. They need to hear your testimony to help pull them through. So, yeah,
And
that's good.
about that, and so the existential part is like, well, God's giving me this voice,
Hmm.
and it's one of those things. Like, it really seems like you just wake up one day and you can sing. For me, because
Hallelujah.
I think about the times, I would never be singing for people. I mentioned not singing, at church when I was younger, and
Right.
recording a song for a demo, not ever thinking that's something I could do.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like you just wake up one day and like, oh well, I see what God's given me, and I'm figuring out a way to use it. But it's
Mm.
like, of all the billions of people in the world, God gave me a gift that I can share. And it's like, what is it about me that God wants to place this inside of me that I can get out there? That's how I know that it's not me, because the gift that I have, I couldn't I couldn't say that make design it and say that that's going to be what I use, but
Mm.
it's something that God placed inside of me that I had to figure out how to use. I had to take care of it. I
Mm.
had to get the lessons.
Mm.
You know, before singing, I have to warm up. I have to prep. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So I guess God entrusted me, or knew that I could be entrusted with the gift, because it's not anything that I could have chosen for myself. But now I understand the weight of what I have, and I understand the weight of how I have to use it in this season. And so that's why, it's so important for me to get things right,
Mm.
um, because of you know the how God thought about me for the gift. So
Mm.
it's one of those crazy things. You're like, oh, God gave it to me. You just wake up one day, you realize, oh, okay, so I can use this. I can
Right.
do something for God's glory with this. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, let's see how far we can go with this.
Mm. See, I'm still trying to wake up every day. I wake up every day and I'm like, God, give me a voice. So I think that was a prophecy for me. I don't know. I don't know about anybody else listening, but I'm pretty sure that was a prophecy for me. One day I'm just gonna wake up and I'm gonna open my mouth and I'm gonna blow. Like I'm going
You
I'm going
start
to
taking lessons, you'll be surprised. Hey, because I had to do it too. I mean, you have to learn how to use your instrument, because the voice is an instrument.
I mean
You
true.
know, just like the clarinet. You see the clarinet, you pick it up, you might not know what to do, but it takes time.
True.
There's something you can do with your voice, but see, it's interesting too,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yeah.
hosting. You have the gift of hosting. You,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You
I
know that,
do.
yeah, that's your thing. So you
Mm-hmm.
are using your voice.
I mean true. True. True.
You're using it.
I mean true. I didn't look at it like that. Maybe that's why God's like, girl, if you don't shut up, you already using it. I've already given you a gift to use it.
Yeah.
It's a humbling moment. So, where do I want to go next? Literally, I never write down questions, never. But I write down questions. I was like, no, I need. When I say I need the tea, I need the tea.
Oh, I haven't
So
given you the tea yet. Okay.
no,
Okay.
you're giving me the tea for
Oh, okay.
sure. You're
Okay.
giving us gems. You're giving us tea. It's sizzling over here for sure.
Okay.
I don't know about the people watching, but I'm feeling the heat.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you weren't singing, writing, acting, if you weren't doing any of that, what would you be doing?
Um. So I guess, nothing in entertainment.
Yeah, nothing. Cause
Okay.
I you went to Howard,
Uh
so I'm
huh.
sure you have degrees.
Hmm.
So what would
Well,
you be doing besides entertainment?
it's interesting. So I probably would. I don't know. So I do have a call to preach and pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
let
can
me
see.
back up. I believe
I can.
God's called me to pastor one day.
I can see it.
God's given me that call. I've had it for a while. I've gone to divinity school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just don't know how. I don't know the fullness of that because right now I'm doing the singing. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think about pastoring. And sometimes I think about, okay, well, what if I just stopped everything in my life to just pastor?
Mm-hmm.
And you know you have to be called to have thoughts like that. Okay?
Right.
No,
Right.
literally, I've
Right.
literally thought, what if I just stopped everything in my life? So I would probably I don't know. I really don't know, but I would either be doing more in ministry that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do have, a job that I work that I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other things that I probably can do, but really full fledged, it might be something else in ministry if I weren't in entertainment.
Okay. So can I be real nosy? Real nosy. You ready?
Sure.
What is your degree in?
Well, my undergrad degree is in psychology.
Okay.
Then I went to grad school for divinity and for business, and
Okay.
so that's what I've studied.
Okay. Okay, I see it. I understand what you're saying. It's making sense.
Yeah, I mean, I
um
think about doing something, in therapy too, psychology, because I did study that in undergrad, and I did I worked as a chaplain at a hospital when I was finishing up my divinity degree.
mhm,
Now, I didn't mention it as saying that I would probably be a chaplain because that's one of the hardest things that I've done in my life.
mhm.
Working as a chaplain, oh, it was so hard.
I can
So I don't know if I'll be doing that.
mhm.
But it'll probably be something in ministry.
Okay. What was I about to say? It was so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was about to say there are those singing pastors like Jason Nelson, Bishop Greg Davis. So,
Only time will
I mean, you
tell.
can mix it together.
Only time will tell. As I said, I don't know the fullness of it.
Mhm.
I don't, but I know that is a part of what I believe God's called me to do. And so I don't. It's one of those things, just like when David was anointed king. He didn't wake up the next day and he was the king. You know what I mean? So I know that it's there,
Mhm.
but and as I talked about, taking the pressure off, the weight off. I know that it's there, but
Mhm.
because I don't know the fullness of it, it takes the weight off of me feeling like I missed it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because I
Mhm.
know that it's there, and I believe that in the fullness of time, God will allow that door to be open in my life some type of way.
Mhm.
However God sees fit. But it takes the weight and the pressure off. No, okay, that's there, God. All right, I got you. Yeah,
Right.
so you're not telling me today to stop everything in my life to go, but okay, it's there.
Right.
So I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I mean, pastor, counselor. I think your voice is very soothing. I feel like you're a very approachable person, and
Oh,
as a
thank
shepherd, I think that's very important. Like, there's no reason why you are intimidating that I can't come up to you and you're shepherding me. No way. No way. So, like you said, time will tell. We'll see. So, what is next for David E. Johnson Jr.? What is next? What does your 2023 look like?
getting the songs out that I have that are almost done that I cannot wait to share with everybody. I mean, I have this song right now that I've been working with Makiba on, just getting it finished.
Hmm.
And I want to get it out in 2023 as soon as I'm able. The song is called "It's Possible," and 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 I it's I don't want to I don't know what can I say about it.
Give us the
What
tea. You got to spill the tea.
what can I say about the song? It's So I like the ballad type songs.
Hmm.
This is a theatrical song. This, this
Okay.
is this is cinematic. It-
Okay. I'm
you
here
know what
for
I
it.
mean?
Right.
It's this song and the content of it had to be done with a presentation like that, and I can't
Mm.
wait to get it out to y'all. So
Mm.
so so please remember that and write that down. Davy Johnson Jr. has a song coming out called "It's Possible." I'm gonna let you know when it's out because I want you to remind everybody how I said it was coming out, so that people can know that it's out.
Right. So if you're watching, screen record this because once it drops, you heard it here first, folks.
Yes, you did.
No, I'm super excited to hear more from you, more sounds, different genres, different collaborations. I know God has so much in store for you, and I'm excited to be just a bystander, to be honest. Just be watching on the sidelines.
You have a platform that you're giving, artists and you know, people an opportunity to share.
Mhm.
So thank you for having me on your platform. I appreciate that, and you're definitely using your voice. You're definitely using your voice.
Oh, I'm
Because
trying
see,
to
if
sing.
if you started singing, you wouldn't be doing your podcasting.
I mean,
You wouldn't be hosting how you're hosting right now.
I
So
mean,
so
true.
God knew not to distract you with the singing voice.
I
So
mean,
you
true.
could do right what you're doing.
I mean, true, but I'm like, God, like when I host, I want to be a sing. I want to sing a little something. I don't want to just host and be like, have a co-host that can sing and I can't harmonize with them. You know what I mean? Like, I see a vision and I'm just like, and God has a, they say, tell God your plans if you want him to laugh. And
Hmm.
I'm sure he's up in heaven just cackling, just giggling because
About
he's
you
like, this
being a
right,
singer.
this girl crazy. But no, thank you so much for coming on and being transparent, being you. I love it. And I'm most definitely a fan. And that's hard to get me to be a fan. But I'm a
Uh,
fan. So I speak nothing but blessings to your ministry, your music, your finances, your home life, your personal life, your relationship with God, the whole shebang.
Thank you. You as
Yeah.
well.
Thank you so much. Until next time, you guys, make sure you go check out David E. Johnson Jr. on all streaming media
It's
platforms,
everywhere.
whether it be social media, music platforms, wherever you listen to music. Make
It's
sure you go
there.
check them out.
Yeah.
Until next time, remember nobody can be you but you, so be the best version of you. And that's on period, Pooh. But yes, thank you so much. This was an honor for sure.
Thank you. Are we still live? Oh, let me see if I can.